Okay, in this video we're going to go over the new changes to the Airpush templates and the new ad libraries that Airpush put out. In August of this year, Airpush made changes to their ad network to make it more compliant with the Google Play Store, and they added some new ad types to their ad library. So it kind of changes things on how we have to create our apps. So in this video I'm going to go over all the steps that you need to take in order to create a new Airpush app. So the two new ad libraries that they have are called SDK Play Store and SDK Universal. Now I'll briefly go over both of those so you understand the difference between the two. The SDK Play Store is the one that actually replaced their first SDK that they had that made it Google Play Store compliant. They made this available in August of 2013 as a beta, and then it was officially made live to everybody to use in September of this year. Now we didn't have this available to us because they granted till September 20th or so for us to be able to use the other SDK and not be penalized for it. They automatically disabled the ads that weren't allowed in the Google Play Store using the old Universal ad library. The other new ad library they have is called SDK Universal, and it's similar to the original one that they put out, and it is specifically for use in non-Google Play Store. In other words, other Android app marketplaces where you could publish your Android apps. This Universal one, like I said, is more like the original one that they had, where it does have the icon ads and the push notifications that are inbuilt into it, and that's what the Google Play Store didn't want in the ads in their apps that are in the Play Store. So that's why there's two different ad libraries now. Now, Mobi-Fire Creator uses the SDK Play Store, and the reason why that is because most all of us are going to be publishing our apps to the Google Play Store because that's where the most traffic is. So I built the new templates based on the SDK Play Store. I'm not saying that the SDK Universal won't work with it. I haven't tested it. It probably will work, but I haven't tested it, so that's going to be up to you if you want to use the Universal one on other Android markets. But like I said, the version templates that we have in the version 3.0 Mobi-Fire App Creator uses the SDK Play Store. Now this is the steps that we're going to take to use this new ad library, and I'm going to go over the steps briefly here in this slideshow, but then I'm going to actually do a live demonstration to show you exactly how to use it. The first thing you're going to have to do is log into your Airpush account dashboard. You're going to get your API key and your app ID. Those are the two things we did before, so there's nothing changed there. Then the next thing we want to do is get our package name. Now this might be a little confusing to you because we have actually a package name section in going through the templates to build your app template, but it's basically along the same lines of the same thing, except Airpush gives you a specific package name that you use for every app that you publish. So it's kind of confusing in a way that going through the template you got to give each app that you're creating a package name, but then Airpush has its own package name as well. The fourth step we'll do is we'll download your custom SDK. Everybody that has an account with Airpush now gets their own custom SDK. You can no longer use the universal one like we were using before. Everybody has their own, so that's why I couldn't include them into the templates like I did before with the Airpush that we released back in September. The next thing we'll do is we'll extract the SDK to a place where we'll keep it, so we'll have it handy for whenever you want to build your future apps. Then we're going to have to rename the ad library Java library. Kind of got that misworded there, but anyway, it's got to be renamed, and I'll show you what I mean by that. And this is actually one of the things that was a gotcha to me when I almost had this ready to release a week earlier, and then I discovered there was a problem with the way they did their renaming of the libraries. Then we'll copy the renamed ad library into our template after we run the easy editor to create a template, and then we're going to import our template into Eclipse. So like I said, I'm going to do a live demonstration to show you exactly how all this works with a new Airpush account that I've set up. So with that said, let's move on, and I'll show you those steps. Okay, so here we're logged into our Airpush account into our dashboard. And when you first log in, it's going to put this pop-up message telling you about the two new ad libraries that they have, the SDK Play Store and the SDK Universal, and it gives the brief explanation like I gave earlier in this video. It tells you a little bit about it. In fact, it explains a little bit more about the Universal. They really want you to use that one, but like I said, since we're going to be publishing our apps mostly to the Google Play Store, I've chosen to use the SDK Play Store so we can be compliant with Google's Play Store, since that's where most of the traffic is. Just go ahead and click and close this out, and you'll be here at your dashboard, and here on the dashboard you'll see your API key right there. You'll want to copy that and put it into a text file, and then once you start going through here, you click the add application, it'll assign an app ID, and then that's where you'll get the app IDs under this column here for each one. Now the most important thing that we want to get out of this is we want to get the information we need, and actually our SDK, our custom SDK. To do that, you click on SDK here, and the next screen it pulls up will again give you your API key, which you can copy from there too if you didn't copy it to the dashboard. But then this is the package name I was telling you about. Airpush has what they call a package name too, and you'll notice how it's similar to the package names that we use in setting up our templates through the easy editor creators. They start out with COM, and it's got 3 sections to it. You'll want to copy this right here to the text file too, and save that for when you're going through the easy editor so you can plug that in. Now I will tell you that this package name stays the same for every app, as well as does this API key. The only thing that changes in your apps as far as Airpush is concerned is the actual app ID key. These two things here will remain constant, so once you've got those saved to a text file, you can use those for those questions in going through the editors. Now the next thing you want to do is you want to actually download your custom SDK. You do that right here by clicking download the SDK, and then also know which one you want to download. It defaults to the SDK Play Store, which is the one that we want. So you click download SDK, give it a second here to get started. Okay, so after it's generated the library for you, it's going to ask you, if you're using the Internet Explorer like I am here, it's going to ask if you want to open it or save it. Of course, we want to save it. Okay, so now that we've got it saved into our C:templates folder, next thing you want to do is extract it. Depending on what you're using for your zip extraction program, it may be different for you. This is the file that we want right here. This is the only one you have to worry about. It's just extracting that one, but you can extract all of them if you want. So just extract that one to the templates folder. and at this point you can move this original zip file somewhere else for safekeeping, somewhere else, or you can leave it here. It doesn't matter. But now this is the part that we got to where we got to rename our package. You'll notice, like I said, it's named up here com dot, and then the rest of the package name it's got dots, but you'll notice in the actual jar file itself it's got dashes, so we got to rename that. So what I like to do is just go ahead and copy this. I know I've got it exactly right, so just highlight it, right click, and go copy. Go back to the templates folder where the jar file is, and if you're using Vista, Windows 7 or 8, either one, if you click it once it'll highlight it, or you can rename it, or you can just right click on it and go to rename. Either way you want to do it, and just paste that in there, and now you'll notice that it's named the right way. So the next thing you want to do is you want to make a folder called libs. So make a folder and call it libs. And then highlight the file again, right click on it, and go to cut, go into the libs folder, and go to paste. And there you have a libs folder with your renamed jar file inside the libs folder. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this video and I'm going to generate a template, and I'm going to show you what you do with this libs folder. Okay, for purpose of demonstration, I'm just going to go step through creating an app really quickly. I've chosen the ebook app template here. Again, if you see the questions up here it's asking for. If you don't understand them, here's some hints down here at the bottom, and then there's actually a PDF that explains the anatomy of a package name that you should read if you don't understand what a package name is. Again, like I said, this is a fictitious app I'm creating, so I'm not going to be publishing this, but I just wanted to show you exactly the steps you would go through. I'm going to call this a migrate app, just like the example shows down here, and you click next. Then you give it the short description, 75 to 100 characters maximum. Be sure and do not include any apostrophes in this description or in your app name. Don't put any apostrophes in there at all. If you do put an apostrophe in there, you will have to escape it out with a backslash, so just be mindful of that as you're going through your apostrophes, like in the word don't or isn't and that kind of thing. You can't use those unless you escape out that apostrophe with a backslash. Again, this is when it comes to this part, your business name, it's usually whatever you call your company. It's usually the part of your domain name is what most everybody uses for, like I said, for demonstration purposes. I'm just following the example that I gave down here. And again, this is the part where I was talking about where it gets kind of confusing, where we have a package name inside of our templates that we're creating, but Airpush has a package name too. This package name you put here is actually your package name, which will be the name of your app that you're submitting. So kind of keep that in mind. There's two different package names involved now. You have your package name, which shows up when you publish your app, and then Airpush has a package name which is actually your ad library. So click next. Then it wants to know your Airpush API key. Again, you should have copied that into a text file so you have it for copying and pasting. If you didn't, you can go back to your Airpush dashboard and get it here. Just right click and copy and paste it in there. Then the API key, the app ID. This is where, when you're going through the steps of publishing the app over on Airpush, they'll assign an app ID. I'm just going to make one up here. This is your Airpush add library package name. So that's the difference. Ours is a package name, which is what's shown in the Google Play Store, but then Airpush add library package name is the actual library. And again, if you follow the steps before, rename the package right, all you have to do is just copy this from the package name and paste that in there. Then click next. Then it asks you about the slider, whether you want it on the bottom or not. I'm going to say yes. I usually say no and put it on the left hand side, but for this demonstration I'm going to say yes and put it on the bottom. And then I'm just going to take the defaults on all these questions here. Like I said, just if you don't understand what these questions are asking, there's hints down here at the very bottom of the screen that tells you what it's asking for. Like I said, I'm just going to go through here and take the defaults since this is a fictitious app. And again, you have to save these things in your C:templates folder, so be sure you save it there. And it asks if you want to save it before finishing. It's up to you if you want to save this so you don't have to answer those questions all again should you decide to re-update this app or whatever for later. I generally say no since the questions are so simple to answer anyway. It's up to you if you want to save it or not. Okay, then you come back up to the Mobi-Fire Creator dashboard again. Be sure and click the Step 2 Finalize Template before you go any further, before you close this out. So click that. It comes up and goes away real quick. You don't even know that it did anything, but it actually did do something. So be sure and do not skip Step 2 before you go to import into Eclipse, or you will get errors. At this point, you just close this out. We're done with this. Okay, so now we're here back in our templates folder where we have our created template now, and we have our libs folder that we created earlier where we copied our Airpush package library into it. What you want to do now is you want to right click on the libs folder and go copy. You want to go into the templates folder and you want to paste it in here. So now you'll have assets, libs, resources, and source. You'll have that libs folder already in here. The next step is to import it into Eclipse, and there's a couple of steps we got to do in there, so that's where we'll go to from here. Okay, so now we're going to import our finished template. Now we've created our template, we've copied our Airpush libraries into it, and we've run the Step 2 to finalize the templates. We're ready to import it into Eclipse. So you want to go to File and then Import. Mine's running a little slow since I've got so many things going here trying to make this recording. You want to make sure the existing Android code is the one that you've got selected, and click Next. Then you want to click the Browse button. And go to your C:templates folder. You want to select the actual template you created, not that libs folder that you copied into this folder, but the main template folder. Like I said, I was doing an ebook, so I'd select the Mobi-Fire ebook in my case. Yours could be video, it could be business, whatever app you're creating. And just click OK. And it'll tell you right here what the project name is, what you're importing in. Then you just click Finish. Now you want to give it plenty of time to load all the libraries. You'll see it down here at the bottom corner, loading the libraries. You want to wait for all of that to finish. Depending on the speed of your computer and what all you have running, it may take a little bit for it to load it. Just give it plenty of time to load all that. Okay, now once it's all loaded, you'll notice that the exclamation point went away up here, and it says there's one warning. Like I said, we're not concerned about warnings. Warnings won't keep us from compiling our app. Errors are the thing that will keep us compiling our app. If you do see errors here, one of two things happened. One is you didn't click the step 2 to finalize the template, which is actually renaming the folders inside the template that you created. You have to do that finalize template to step 2 before you import, or you will have all kinds of errors. And again, you need to save it into the C:\templates folder when you're saving your work. Other error that may happen, and this may happen the first time you do one, and you may have to do this every time you import an Airpush one. If you expand the folder here, you'll see the different folders here. You'll see the folders that the libraries, the libs folder that you selected there, and you'll see your custom Airpush add library in here. But if you do see errors, one thing you may want to try is to right click on the project name and go to properties, go to build Java build path, and make sure all these things are checked right here under order and export. If you don't see them checked, check all those, and then under libraries, make sure you see your custom library there. If you don't see it there, like I said, if for some reason it don't show up there, click on add jars, expand the folder there, and you'll see under here, you'll see it under here under libs, the ones that you can import. I've already imported in here, is why I don't see it now. But if it had not have been imported, in fact, let me remove it just so I'll show you what that means. Okay, so now if you don't have it in here like this, it's like this. When you go in here, you click on add jars, expand that, and then you'll see libs under here. Just select that one and then click OK. And like I say, go to order and export and make sure it has a check mark in it, and just click OK, and that should take away all the errors. And at this point, you can go up here to assets and drop in, copy in your ebook content or whatever content it is you're creating for your app, and you can compile your app normal, just like the other video shows. Like I said, it's a few more steps involved, but you do get access to the new ad libraries, and your Airpush is now Google Play Store compliant. Okay, so let's recap here what we got to do to use the new ad library. Again, you got to log into your Airpush account dashboard. You want to get your API key and your app ID numbers. Those are, like I said, those are the same as before. You want to get your new package name, and you want to copy all this down into a text file so that you'll have it for when you're going through the creating of your template. And then you'll need to download your custom SDK and extract your SDK into the C:\templates folder. Then you want to rename the ad library to match the package name which you got from step 3. And then you want to copy the renamed ad library into our template, and then you want to import your template into Eclipse, and then from there you can build your app. Anyway, I hope this helps explain it. It's, like I said, it's a few more steps involved, but once you get the hang of it, it's not that bad. It's just, it's a few more steps in order to be able to use the Airpush ad network now.